Hey everyone, good morning. I'm doing my John Maxwell, and for today's scripture, it's focusing on Job 3:11 and 7:19. Why did I not die at birth? Why did I not perish when I came from the womb? How long will you not look away from me and let me alone till I swallow my saliva? So this scripture is basically looking at the three friends of Job, and they accuse Job of all kinds of evil. And you'll find that when we are going through difficulties, when we are going through periods that are filled with depression, unemployment, and I say depression in the economic sense, unemployment, difficulties, people will blame us. They'll say, it's you. It's your fault. Nobody else in our family has gone through this, only you. But that same family will give that support that you should have gotten to everybody else, like they do to me. They'll help them come up so they can enjoy life, go on holidays, look after their homes, give them money to travel. They'll do it for all of them, and then they'll point the finger at you and say, it's you. It's you. No one else is going through this in our family. You are not family to us anymore. And they won't look at your blessings. They won't look at how God has worked in your life, what you've accomplished. They'll only focus on what is happening right now. And this is what happens to Job. He's accused of all kinds of evil. They spoke the kind of foolish word that the healthy and ill-informed often speak to those in pain. So normal people who love you, people who care about you, don't normally do that to you. But Job wanted to take his case to the Lord, so he goes to the Lord, and the Lord doesn't answer him until right at the end of the book. And the Lord in his love says to him, Job, why did you doubt me? Because I have been with you through everything. I know your pain, I know your suffering, I know everything that you're going through, but why did you question me? And he doesn't chastise Job for asking the questions. He rebukes Job only for doubting his righteous character. Because God is righteous. We fail. Sometimes we don't understand. Like when we look at that story of Moses, where Moses was not allowed to enter into the promised land. And you could say, well, that's very harsh of God not to allow him to enter because he disobeyed and he struck the rock instead of speaking to it. But maybe Moses didn't understand, right? You should show compassion, God. You should show mercy. But God is saying to us in that, but I gave him that knowledge, I gave him that wisdom to understand, and he disobeyed me. And that's why I didn't let him go in, which is very different from sinning and making a mistake and saying to God, I'm sorry for my shortcomings and my failures. That's very different from a deliberate coordination to make somebody like me seem like a child, like I can't make good decisions, like I don't know how to dress, like I don't know how to style my hair so that I look nice. That's very different. And those are the messages that people have sent to me. Recruiters, when I've gone out for jobs at CIBC, these customers, American customers, it's like, we can hear your accent. You're not American. But how many people are in America that actually speak like me? How would they know whether I'm American or not? They don't know. They don't, because America is a mishmash of many, many, many different races, different backgrounds, different cultures. They have no way of knowing whether I'm truly American or not. And so they do it to rattle your cage, to see how far they can push you, your emotions, break you, break your mental health, break your services, break your jobs, because they didn't get something that they wanted. So it's interesting to see how this plays out in our lives as Christians. And we can ask God questions, but we can't demand that God answers us. We can ask God questions, and sometimes those questions will be answered in different ways in how our life unfolds or how He allows injustice in our lives. If everything was right, Christianity wouldn't have been used to support apartheid, to support racism, like it was in Canada, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe. People used it. And I could say, God, why did you allow that when you know what's happening? But no matter how dark our circumstances may grow, we can't doubt God's holy nature. God is holy. We are not holy. We are striving to become holy, to become saints. But God is holy. And we can confess and we can have that fear of God with trembling lips, confess the awesome majesty of God, and be ready for the awesome blessing of God. I think if we have that confirmation, that consolation that God is with us in whatever we're going through, then that fear doesn't overwhelm us and we can move forward. We can do whatever we need to do and take it one day at a time. And there's an example that I can give. If you look at, like when I worked in the hospital, and I did my volunteer work at St. Michael's. I was there for, I think, just over a year. You have to sign a 1-year contract. I didn't get any disease. I didn't get any sickness. Nothing happened to me. And the doctors go in, they work with the most sick patients, the patients who are suffering, the patients who are going through all kinds of diseases. But yet not one of them gets those diseases. Not one of them gets sick. Not one of them gets whatever contagious disease is going around. Because they don't give in to that fear. They don't give in to that fear that, if I go to work, I'm also going to get sick. If I go to work, I'm also going to get this virus. They go into work and they do whatever they need to do. Just like I went in to do my work in the hospital and volunteered, and I never went in with a fearful attitude. I never went in saying, oh, I can't go and volunteer in the hospital, I might get sick. And so that fear is what overtakes us. And like we can be like Job, we can be surrounded by people who are always at our lowest points, kicking us, throwing us under the bus, saying it's you have mental health problems, you are the problem, look at what you're doing, you're upsetting your mother, you are like a child, look at you, but they won't look at what is happening in their own lives. And Job's friends could easily have helped him. They could have said, yes, Job, you're going through all these problems and all these difficulties, but we are with you, instead of bringing him down further and criticizing him further and making a situation that was already bad even worse. So some of us are blessed with people like that in our lives. That's what they do to me. That's what my family does to me. My mother, other people in my life. My brother doesn't do it so much. He just leaves me. He's like, go out, go to the tennis, go do something. But he's too far away from me. And if I could, I would have gone back to England. I didn't want to stay here. My internet is slow today. I didn't want to stay here, but God has kept me here for whatever reason He has. I don't know. So it's very interesting. Anyway, at least, I have my Elvis music. I have things that keep me motivated, keep me confident. I have my prayer life. I can give thanks for the things that are good in my life. I can't control the bad things that have happened to me, like getting high blood pressure, which I never even thought about when I got sick. I could have died for all it was like, oh, I'm fine. Like my grandfather, when he went and he played tennis and he collapsed and he died. That's what could have happened to me, because he used to get those varicose veins where the blood used to shoot, the vein used to break, and the blood used to shoot right out. And then I had to look after him, like get the ice pack, give it to him, like make sure he sat with his leg up. So he had some other conditions, underlying conditions. So it could have happened to me too.